Welcome to the live coding session of Gimbalabs today. Today is it's Thursday, February 15th, 2024. We are gathered once again here for a live coding. It's an open space where people gather to talk about solving problems and this wild Web3 space that we're in. Let me give you a little bit of an orientation. We work off of a Miro board that I will post into the chat. And in that Miro board, we sort of decide what we're going to do and then do it based on what the people who are here and what their ideas are. This is an open meeting. You're invited to join if you're listening on YouTube by random happenstance, or if that's the way you like to do it. You can join us here on Zoom. The link is in our Discord and on our website, which is gimbalabs.com, possibly. And yeah, we're a welcoming community, and we'd love for you to join us. With that out of the way, are there any other things that might need to be facilitated that I've missed as far as introduction? Or are we ready to go over to the Miro board? Let's see if I can share my screen.
Could you share the Miro board again, please?
Yep. Can someone grab that Miro board link? It's up in the earlier part of the chat.
Yeah, I changed channels.
Oh, yep. I saw you jump in and out. Yep.
Thanks.
Okay, so here are the past meetings. We're using this sort of template. There's yesterday, the 14th, and today is the 15th. And I see some good folks on the Miro board. I'll add my name as facilitator. If you would like to facilitate a meeting, you can do that by simply signing up. There's a list to sign up here. You can sign up. Next week is open and going forward from there. It's just a little initiative to see who, and it's a great way to contribute. It's a lot of fun to facilitate these meetings. And what I'd like to do now is to set aside some time to brainstorm up some ideas, and we can talk discussion-wise. We can have a couple minutes of silent thinking and come up with things that we'd like to talk about. We have the ability to manage the shared resource that is our time together. We blocked off this 90 minutes to discuss Gimbalabs topics and things that are interesting to us, and then in our related to our circles, which we just had a governance season in January, and those circles being outreach and advocacy, community and onboarding, education, sustainability and funding, and builders contributing and doing. So any topics there that you'd like to discuss, and I'll set a timer for a minute of quiet time, and then we can discuss as we put things in. How about that? I'm seeing some head nods and some signs of approval. All right, here comes the timer. Yeah, there you go. And about 30 seconds left of quiet time, and then we'll just discuss as we go. Yeah. All right. Does anyone want to sort of narrate their thinking as they work out what they would like to do today? And it's really here we are, and I'll just vamp while you're still thinking and hopefully jog some ideas. You know, we're all here together. I mean, Juan Sierra, yeah, that Juan Sierra, he's here today, and he's ready to talk. Mix is here for the conversation. He wants to discuss some stuff. Um, so if you ever wanted to discuss things with Juan or Mix or I mean Nelson and Steve are here. What would you like to talk about? And you can put it on a green sticky, and then we sort of decide like what kind of breakout rooms and where. And I guess the big thing to decide is where our recording stays in the main room. So it's like main room and breakout. And this is not a contest. It's not like this is the best thing and these are less than, nothing like that. It's just a breakout rooms. It's just how to divide our group. And let's just give ourselves another minute of finalizing green stickies. And it doesn't have to be, you know, it could just be a personal thing. Like I'd like to talk about this, or if something's up on my mind. I'd love to. We did talk a little bit about intersect and the check-in. That might be kind of fun. And we can also sort of think about like what's happening in education or funding. I know that there's a Catalyst vote results coming in a few. All right. So who wants to discuss a green sticky and talk about what you want to talk about?
I have a question, for example.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Somebody, I think James put sticky with Gimbalabs.com in outreach and advocacy, and I wonder what that means. What's the like theme of the discussion?
Yeah, I put that one there because it's been on my mind, and um, it's another possible place that we could start to explore together. So huge props to everybody who pitched in to getting the Discord redesigned. That's an incredible accomplishment, incredible outcome that we made a nice, following up the governance session, we made a nice sprint to get that done. In a similar way, starting to share the maintenance of gimbalabs.com could be really interesting. And so when people are ready, I'd be willing to just take like a little annotated tour of what's there so far and start dreaming up what we might do next. But also don't feel pressure to rush into that, right? Maybe we start that today, but maybe that's a few weeks down the road, depending on people's interest.
I
have a
yeah, go ahead, Steve.
I have a question because I've been seeing stuff on Twitter about Plutus V3, and I was just wondering how much more new material has to be made for the Plutus PBL, and I don't know when the information about version 3 came out and what you've got already kind of planned out. I'd like to hear about that, and I don't know when to ask that, or I don't think it needs its own room. It's just something that's been on my mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, PPBL 2024 is a big topic, and that's another project that we can really start in earnest anytime.
They good, yeah. Those are excellent. What are other ones? So we talked about the website and then the Plutus PBL, which I feel is the real flagship in my opinion is a flagship activity of Gimbalabs. And really during that after town hall, like it really was beautiful to see Gimbalabs like talked about by non-people that were like, yeah, if you need to learn Plutus, Steve, were you in there? And it was just like, yeah, if you need to learn Plutus, like that's where to go and do it. Yeah. So that was some good props. Yeah, Juan, go ahead.
Okay, I guess it's time for me to stand up and stretch a little bit. It's been 25 minutes.
Yes.
Can you believe that? It's been 25 minutes of this meeting, and I don't feel it.
Wow. Oh yeah, that's right. It's been about it's now 10. I just heard the bell go off.
Right.
Yeah, let's one of the things that we do is that we're concerned, and we not only are we concerned, but we follow it up with action, taking care of our physical health or our all of our health in balance. So feel free to stay on camera or not, get up and move around or move your body however it is to make you feel comfortable. For whatever reason, it feels better if I'm off camera when I do it, so I'm going to go off camera, but I'm still here.
Yes, Norman, thank you. And wanted to say that what I'm going to do is I'll put a reaction, like a little bell, a little clock on the screen, like this, like that. So people know, everybody will know that it's time to do some exercise. And then at the end, I guess I find out that after 5 minutes, I will put up another mark while we try to, adopt any way to do it seamless in a way that doesn't bother the focus of the group. And yeah, I think that's kind of the way to go.
I love it. I love it. Since it is something that we're all it might be nice just to get on the main video recording. I would love to take everyone through a tour of the Discord redesign. And there's also like, if you want to, I've also sort of put like a topics, like a note for what you might want to discuss. And I put down this Discord redesign launch, which is launched. And so now it might be cool to get a tour of the Discord. Hinson and Harsha and I could do that for us. To start.
Yeah, like walk through the Discord a bit as a
Yeah. Yeah. And what do you think? Hinson, Harsha, are we ready? That's a proposal. Does anybody have an objection to doing the tour right now with everyone before we
Yeah.
I have a
Oh, go ahead.
go ahead, James.
Well, remember that this is just for what's happening in the main room. So anybody who would rather focus on something else can jump into any breakout room anytime. So really, when Newman says asking for objections on this, it's just for, hey, should we stay in the main room and do this? This is what's live.
There you go. Yeah, that's it. That's the way.
So I just wanted to, if we are sharing the screen while showing the Discord, it's better that someone who doesn't have the admin role to show it. Otherwise, we'll see all the archived channels, which are like 50 or 60 of them.
Right. So I'm gonna stop sharing. Am I sharing? Yeah, I think I am. Maybe I'm not. Am I sharing my screen?
Yes.
So here we go. There we go. So if someone wanted to
maybe I could do a really quick one.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. Actually, I'm not sure what to cover, but let's have a very simple tour there. Can anyone see my Discord? Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, we got it now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so I've selected verify role, so there's no excessive archives channels down there. So this is the root channels. Basically, I've just copied the one from James 1 year ago. So we could change it anytime to anything if anyone, got suggestion. Verification for verification. I mean, a key message is from here. The start here message to explain what is the relevant link and how you could participate and choose the role that's relevant to you. And also subscribe to the updates for different circles. This role is more about just the subscription. Like let's say later on, me inside the sustainability channels, I might have some updates to all the people interested. So I will just do an add sustainability here or like hashtags. Yeah, something like that. So I will just try to tag the role, the people with the role here, and show an announcement here. And then archivist, after hitting this, currently my kind of the setting do not allow this, but after hitting it, you will get the archivist role, and you can see a lot of archives channels below. Like those before our redesign, those channels are still here, but it's archived. You have to choose this to fill it. All of the announcement will come through here. There will be no more 10 announcement channels. Any feedback just right here. And if you're a student or a participant or you want to talk about PPPL or mesh PPL, just do it right here. Circles work organization will be gone through in these channels. Probably in the coming weeks, I will push out 2 to 3 different potential leads for sustainability here. So if any of you are interested, could just follow up the activities out there. And same as other circles, I'm sure other the facilitators will take the lead to put out some potential activities so that anyone interested to contribute can just jump in. Current project, we currently just put Andamio and Dandelion here. We still didn't got the pin message. Maybe we could have James to work on the Andamio, and I'm not sure who is the best person to work on Dandelions, but to put on the pin message on there. Any kind of track to go on through here, technical things, other topics, mental health, such kind of thing. So one follow-up is we want to put one pin message onto each channels. And for a lot of them, there's still very roughly put like the education channels is just a boilerplate or just a sample pin message here. So if you find you are maybe the person who understands the matters, you want to put on a pin message, just feel free to do it and let us know. And we, with permission, those guys will help you to pin the message. Yeah, James.
I don't even know if this is a thing. Does anybody know of any sorts of Discord plugins that allow us to write a pinned message in something other than plain text? It's okay if nobody's.
I don't know.
If nobody has one off the top of their head, I'd like to do a little research because the plain text is fine. I can imagine something a little bit more like a banner or something. All right, we'll play with that.
Yeah, we'll play with that. But the bottom line is it supports the basic Markdown format, so I can still put on simple links here, just pointing to different resources so that we could work on, let's say, the mirror board link here or other things there. So so there's a basic structures, and hope everyone could have fun out of it. Like I just want to do one simple objective is whenever we want to talk something kind of maybe randomly or technically, we don't have to just jump around to find the suitable channels, and then after saying something, no one got the answer because no one got to that channels just by chance. So just hope people could kind of communicate more effectively here. And I think following up, we will also have the Discord bot analysis, either analyze on the current bots that we are using or building a custom one. So if you're interested, probably I guess Newman will take the lead on that task as well on the community and onboarding circles. So yeah, that's it. A simple tour. Next, yeah.
I mean, I have some feeling and question. First, thank you very much for making this kind of migration and redesign and restructuring. My question is first, is this the final design or there will be something more? But you know, for example, all the circle will have their own dedicated categories of channels, or no, they're like this is the final. And my second question is, we had these categories of channels called dump, which we were sharing like music, videos, talking, all this stuff, which was completely unrelated to tech, onboarding, education, like anything we found interesting was here. But I see that there is this just one channel for other topics. I wonder what was the rationale to combine all those challenges, which I personally believe it would be better to be separated, like one for music, another for something, to be in one channel called other topics, because you know other topics can be many, and this place can become very messy quickly.
Yeah, and on your first question, I think there will be no such thing as final design. We just want to kick things off. And then, as I just repeatedly mentioned for a couple of weeks, I don't want to spend too excessive effort onto the Discord thing. So going forward, if you get some, let's say, the thumbs channels alternative you would want to suggest, just feel free to talk about it inside the community and onboarding circles. I think, yeah, we will facilitate there for further design. For me, probably I'm gonna be a bit hands-off after this initial implementations, and everyone could, yeah, just get some inputs. So answering your second question, some early rationale behind is we kind of want to make the channels to be as messy as possible. Just put it in that way, because it was something that we could kind of facilitate communications. Because one of the largest pain point we have observed from our previous design in the Discord is that there'll be one message. Actually, we are getting tons of message every day, but on different channels. No one's are actually communicating, or very few people actually do communicate. But most of the time, it's just a message out there. 1 or 2 days later, and other people replies with a, let's say, 2 or 3 words, something like that. Not much actual communication happening. So we want to just try to concentrate the attention for the community and foster as much communication as possible. If one certain topic really blows up as we expected, probably we could just do the refactoring again anytime. Like we want to have one music share, maybe a lot of people interested in music. James included, myself play guitars. Maybe we have a lot of music stuff to talk about, and then maybe it makes sense to split out in other channels. But all those activities will be on community and onboardings going forward, I would say. Yeah.
But regards to this idea, if we kind of combine all these messages into one channel in order to create or increase the engagement, wouldn't that create this situation that some people will lose any interaction with their message because their message got overshadowed by other messages or other topics? So for example, 2-3 persons are talking about something. I want to talk about something. Oh, I shared something important and no one noticed. Why? Because I was just middle of conversation of other people.
So I think up to that point, we could split the channels. But right now we, so far, practically speaking, not really having such scenarios. Yeah. So just from very unscientific, inductive observation. Yeah, Alex and Harsha. Alex, maybe
Yeah.
Alex got the hands up first. Yeah.
All right. So I have like some comments also relating to what Nick said. So first of all, if it would be possible to make some of the archive channels available, because many of them contain technical discussions, and using Discord search, you can find answers to some of the questions that people were asking with regards to like the courses, right? So, but by making this information unavailable, we will have to answer this again. But oftentimes it was like simpler for me, for example, to look it up and just refer to the message that was like piece of the discussion, right? And the second is like this feature suggestion. If like before we were utilizing this feature of forums on Discord, where non-admin users can create threads and these threads remain visible while there is activity. So maybe having a forum section in discussion will kind of address the issue that Mix raised, that there is no space for like sorted discussions which are unrelated, like just community building, you know, not the technical work, not learning, but just people communicating on like, so forums, not dumps, but forums. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah. Agree. I forgot what's the first question from Alex. I do remember I got an answer.
bring back some of the information which is not visible to regular users.
Yeah,
Like,
for the first question, when you want to search it, you could select the archive as well. And then all the historical channels will show up.
Fair enough, fair enough. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to speak on Mix's issue that Professor Mix brought up. Specifically, when people want to create new channels, our idea is that they have to take ownership of the channel. How long will the channel be active? Or if it's going to be permanent, will someone manage it? Who will be the admin for the channel? Those kind of things are important. Otherwise, there'll be a bunch of channels created that might not have too much interaction and that might confuse people. So that is the idea for now, but we are open to the idea of creating new channels as long as ownership is taken.
Yeah, James.
Just want to zoom out to like the meta level for just a second and think about the work ahead of us in months and years time frame. We're building an open community where people are going to come and go and are going to participate in different amounts of work at different time. And one thing we've already recognized in prior conversations over the last few weeks is one of the hardest things about having an open community is how do we take feedback as new people arrive? And I just want to point out that this conversation can serve as a really strong model for how we do things moving forward and how we decide to do things. So what just happened is a group of people who really want to be focused on several other things took a few focused sessions to create a plan and to execute it on redesigning this Discord. Those meetings were open and available to anybody, and they're sharing with us today the results of that work. But we do need a clearer process for coming up with proposals for what to do next, okay? Because a tension I'm feeling right now is that there's a dangerous precedent in people committing to doing work, getting something done, and then after they share it, you know, reconsidering all of these things that all of us had the opportunity to be considering in real time in these spaces over the last few weeks. And so I'm really interested in working on a proposal process because personally, you know, I'm so glad that the Discord work is done so that we can do everything else. And I wonder what an appropriate amount of time to now talk about all the other things we might do with Discord is at the expense of all the other things we might do. Does that make sense? And I want to share that tension and make progress in it, because this is kind of a small example of a pattern that we should absolutely expect moving forward, and we need to be ready for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just wanted to
Steve.
say, obviously I've posted a lot of stuff in the music channel, for instance.
Yeah.
But what I've noticed over the years is that's a wave. There are, I listen to a lot of music, ideas come to my head, and I'll pop a few videos in there over a week or so, and then I don't think about it for a while. And so I'm saying that to say I get mix, but I'm really in this moment right now, I'm really more feeling the same way James is. Let's just let this thing ride, because the whole fucking experience of life is a wave, and let's just see where the wave takes us. Let's see when we've got this channel for other, let's just see what kind of stuff comes into other. It might be videos for a while, it might be music for a while, it might be book information for a while, and let's just see what happens and see how things differentiate. I think the reason for all of this was, the way I've understood it the last few weeks with Tenson's desire to redesign it was to see how we can observe whatever new people come into Ondomio and Gimbalabs and PBL and technical questions and la 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 la. Let's see what happens this year and just adjust with it.
All right, this gets me. That's a wonderful sentiment. Look, I'm raising my hand. This is the way I'm seeing it, and I definitely feel the tension, and I want to sort of restate it. The note that I wrote down was, it's an open community issue, how to take feedback as new people arrive. And then a new sticky that says, models for how to do the work, then consider the change. And that feels to me like a design process or a governance process. And then another sticky that says proposal process for further structural changes, and that there is a tension around this common pattern. And then, and I maybe want to come back to that, and I definitely want people to, let's just pause here for a second, because I feel like this is an important part, because it does get to like structural big changes. And then what Steve was talking about, and hopefully Mix, I want you, if you could come back, okay, if you could come back on and talk about this and see how this feels, because I like the idea of governance and sort of operational. And we did a governance process to sort of say, okay, these circles, and inside of this circle, like, let's do the Discord redesign, and that we changed it, and it's like we kind of put it up the hill, and this is Steve's idea of like, okay, so see where the wave takes us, and it may take us to like back to the same place, but we've sort of, as a community, sort of reset the clock. It may like it may sort of filter out, the wave may like put us back out in the thing. Anyway, that's just how I'm seeing it. I would love to get some feedback and really dig down into this sort of idea around it. Mix, go ahead.
Well, I'm sorry, actually. I never thought that raising tension, or I don't know, making some people feel unappreciated for what they've done throughout some weeks. But really, if I knew that, I would have just be silent and say nothing, to be honest.
No.
But I should say I'm sorry, and you, Benson,
You don't have to
Marsha, you did a
sorry.
great thing. But
Maybe I
the
have
only
to
thing,
interrupt here. Maybe I
No, no,
have to
you know,
interrupt here.
answer. I just ask rational. I didn't want to just question what you guys did. I just wanted to answer
You don't
rational
have
to
to think about
understand that. That's all.
that.
But I'm sorry. Let's say it again. I'm sorry if I unintentionally raise something which you guys call attention, but I feel that maybe you guys felt unappreciated.
You know
So
what?
yeah, I'm.
Actually, the one of the point I want to mention right now is we has kind of successfully achieve our objective right here. Like before, because we are also practicing the process. I know it might feel a little bit boring to the actual work itself. So me and Newman and also Harsher very early on, we kind of come up with a kind of a consensus as to we are going to put forward whatever we have as soon as possible to all of you guys so that we could have this kind of session to get more feedback from you guys, and then we could maybe further organize more activities to better our Discord design. So we actually achieved our goal here. Like at least we are getting so much feedback here. But probably I'm not the one driving, changing it going forward. This is the tricky part.
No. This is it exactly. That's I think
Yeah,
if I let me say it honestly, if you guys thought or understood from my word that that's it, no.
that's
You
not
guys
me at
did a
least.
courageous
I would
thing. You
say.
guys did a courageous thing, resetting, recreating, reestablishing, restructuring. Every name you call this thing, it needs courage. Okay, just I don't think of a thinking, but it's not even rebranding, restructure. It
Yeah.
needs courage. So I really salute you and appreciate. And the only thing I was asking was the rationale, like the rationale why
That makes
there
sense.
was this decision, because I wasn't present in those sessions, unfortunately. So yeah, that was it. But again, if I unintentionally raise some, I don't know, tension or creating this feeling of ungratefulness, I'm truly sorry and apology for that.
Yeah.
I
You don't
hope
have
I
to
would
worry about
support you
that, I
guys, and
guess.
I really I would support you, Hanson, Harsha, and anyone
Thank you,
who
man.
engages. Thank
And
you.
second point I would like to mention is echo to James and Newman. I think it's also a very interesting moment for us to really practicing out some more on the governance side, like how to propose and work and then deliver the process of it in an open community setting. From my point of view is that we have 5 different circles, and we could kind of people interested in different circles could take the list to experiment the format of governance first, rather than we kind of get into a alignment onto what is the best governance models that we could have. But let's say just an example is sustainability, because the circle that I'm leading, I'll be very autocratic on everything because I want to find the money in Gimbalabs. Let's say something like that. And let's say in education channels, James would want to have a more democratic approach to get more feedback, to get the educational contents that everyone's love. Maybe that's the scenarios that we are experiencing saying later on. And then let's say 3 months into now, we could always be sitting together to discuss our experiment so far. Let's say to find a middle way, or what works best for each of our circles. I think this is some hypothesis in our minds, in my mindset. I think we could test it out this moment, because it's a very complex issue. We want to find a perfect solution at day 0. Probably is a bit difficult, I would say. Yeah, James.
You did get
Yes.
an answer. We don't have perfect solution. What you did is a solution or not. It's a next step, and I'm happy with it, and I want to live with it, help that, and moving forward and make them better. So yeah, I didn't want it. Again, I didn't want a perfect solution, like something, I don't know, just redesigning the Discord, I don't know, break, or we have completely new application suddenly out of Discord. I don't know, miracle happen. No, that's not possible. So yeah, you guys did great things, and
Thank you.
I hope I didn't discourage you. Otherwise, I would.
Yeah,
I
appreciate your
won't.
feedback indeed. I basically just work in a startup setting for quite a while. So for me, at least, I will appreciate any feedback as blunt as possible as you can. That's how we push things forward, really to do something. Yeah. James.
And Mix, on the same side of the coin, when I brought up that tension, I was going to keep my mouth shut because I was not sure how to say it in such a way that felt like I was saying this conversation is inappropriate, and I didn't mean to do that. Really, my goal was I want to figure out this pattern together, like, and I wanted to take what we've got right here and imagine that we're going to keep having a pattern where work happens and feedback happens, and how we structure that. And yeah, I probably didn't say it the best possible way, and I didn't
No,
mean to
James, you did. You did. You actually, you made me realize that maybe what I said created this feeling of ungratefulness, and that was enough for me to realize. And maybe if you say it in a different word, I wouldn't realize. And to me, to my understanding, to my belief, or I don't know, ethical principle, this is not acceptable. So yeah, if and also maybe there was a possibility, maybe you guys didn't felt that way. Oh, sure, great, thank you. But I had to again maybe a step in and say it, that if unintentionally created that sort of feeling, I'm truly sorry. And yeah,
Yeah, appreciate
I
your kindness.
realized that, and thank you, James, for that this realization. And once upon a time, we need some sort of a slap, coming from our high horse and realizing,
Yeah.
yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Wow, that's a fantastic discussion in my mind, because it's like real governance. That's really wonderful in a way. Are there other considerations? We talked about the sort of the big meta of making changes. We talked about this new like other changes in the Discord. Does anyone see any other things? And we promise not like tension and this sort of feeling that you get. We call it attention, but it's just like, oh, I see this and man, I wish that it had this, or oh, I've also heard move my cheese. Like, oh, I really like this part about the old design, and it's a big deal. It's a big deal. We're making a change in the real interface to this. So we know that the changes there are more changes to come, and I think we're starting a good precedent by like giving some good and honest feedback. And we'll endeavor to incorporate and try to change it to make it fit. Like we want to hear like honest feedback. So is there any more other honest feedback? Okay, Nori, I see Nori's hand up.
I just want to mention the language we're using is a language of S3, and the word tension and objection in normal everyday society is kind of a negatively charged set of words. And in S3, they're not. They're absolutely gifts and positive and the way we navigate. So there may be a little bit of like enculturation or training around those phrases, because we're kind of casually tossing them out, but I noticed maybe people are reacting to them in a way that isn't intended, just from the use of those words. So, but I think the tension driver proposal reflection loop is a really beautiful one. And if we really start to practice that, it'll become more and more natural to, like, that's how we navigate, and nothing is forever. Everything has a review date. Things like that are really great things to provide a layer of good enough for now. Like, I think Mick started like, is this set in stone forever? And if the answer is no, then that relieves a whole lot of concern, because there's going to be a review date, say 3 months from now, we're going to see how this goes and revisit it or something like that. But all those little practices add up to creating that kind of space of safety and sharing. And I think it's super important that people talk about, oh, I have this concern, or I have this objection, and navigating through those tensions is really helpful. So having that practice and a space to actually do it live on a real thing is super precious. So I really enjoyed the conversation today.
Nori gets it. Nori gets it. And thank you for sharing these things with us. I kind of forget, you know, that like we are all like super champions. Like Mix is a super champion. Nori is a super champion. There's so much appreciation. Like we are like a champions league of builders, designers, organizational developers. Like I think that we kind of forget. I forget, and it's wonderful when I get into a situation like this and we get reminded. And I think I just want to underline what Nori said there is that the language that we're sort of using is a sort of vernacular or a specialized language, and that but that it all does sort of fit. And as we use it more and we realize like, oh, this is why we, you know, like training and sort of making that kind of culture it is important. So and I think that good enough for now is a fantastic sort of thing. But then Mix really put the point on it, because he said, oh, I have this sort of thought, or I have a feedback, and a lot of people swallow that feedback. And it's funny because he's like, oh, we had this big discussion, which, you know, but we should never, or we shouldn't stifle those feedbacks, because they really are a gift. I think that really highlights that S3 principle and good governance, because we're all like, we've developed a trust, and that we can use that trust to sort of bring up these things, and we don't have. Yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to highlight that, and also wanted to say hello to some of the new people that may have joined. You have come into a live coding session for the Gimbalabs, and I'm just this is what we do on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and we're on a Miro board. If you want to see the Miro board, we have a Discord. If you want to see the Discord, I just want to reset the mix. We do have like 23 minutes to go on our 90-minute session. Where would we like to take the discussion next?
Breakout rooms.
Breakout rooms? Could be time for breakout rooms. We could talk more about Discord and SumSpot. We can talk more about other things like admin token proposal writing, data validation with access admin tokens and indexers and backends. Those are sort of in the builder contributor doing group.
For me, actually, I want to talk a bit about high-level planning on PPBL 2024. If James also want to talk about it today.
Yeah, with the time we have, I would love to spend a minute on that, going from a high level down to how we might start planning it.
Yeah.
Happy to stick around in the
Should we-
main room or to go to a breakout room for that one.
Yeah. Should we jump to breakout room or that?
I could stay in the main room for that. But there are breakout rooms, yes or no, available?
Yeah,
so
they
if you want to
are.
split off.
There are rooms open. There's 4 rooms open. Any objections to this main room staying on a conversation about initial PPBL 2024 planning?
No.
Yeah, I'd love to talk about it.
I propose to have a room for balance, if that is possible. How we can plug lifestyle and health in the meeting that we do. Is that possible?
Of course.
Super.
All right. In order to, so I was reflecting on my own journey, like thinking about S3, and I realized I threw a couple things on the Miro board that might be things to eventually talk about, and then realized, well, if Gimbalabs.com, for example, PPBL 2024, there's high-level conversations we can have, and let's jump into that right now. But I want to zoom out even more than that for just a moment and show you what Nelson and I were working on yesterday, just as an example of this. Because my goal is to have something similar for PPBL 2024.
A similar draft like this?
Yeah, exactly. So you can see in my browser right here, here's a draft proposal, right? Coming out of Playground on Tuesday, we had a conversation about admin tokens for this Gimbalabs treasury that we're setting up. And what we started to do, this is just a work in progress. It's actually not ready to bring to the rest of the Gimbalabs community and decide what to do about it. But this is the structure of a proposal. We can think about a driver just like we did at an organizational level for wanting to do any smaller stream of work, like implement these admin tokens. And then we can write about it. We can eventually give it a title, give some background rationale, draft some intended outcomes, details of what we intend to do, what the expected benefits will be, how we'll know if it was successful, right? Evaluation criteria, propose a timeline, and then drill down to actual, at the implementation level, what will we need to get it done? Who will take on responsibilities? What risks are we taking on? And how will we mitigate them? And again, the review part is ongoing. But when will we review this project and decide whether to adapt the plan? So this is a really exciting structure. This is at the core of where we've been going, by starting with drivers and defining some domains or circles like we've already done. This concept of proposals would be the next step. And so the reason I'm sharing this here for the context of PBL, I would like to start to build a similar proposal for PPBL 2024. Okay. We won't start writing that today, but I'm hoping, we've got about 20 minutes right now. We probably want to do a closing round too. So maybe in just 8 minutes or so right now, I'd like to just share a little bit about where we're going and what we do and don't know about PPBL 2024. And then we can decide who wants to opt in to collaborating on writing that proposal, which would be really exciting. So PPBL 2024, it's going to be the 5th iteration of Plutus project-based learning at Gimbalabs. And all of this will go into proposal, like when we give some background knowledge. But in November of 2021, a group of 5 people just got together and started trying to figure out what PPBL might be. Then we ran a few iterations of it on Canvas. And we eventually realized that we wanted to build our own platform for delivering the course. That's where Plutus PBL 2023 was delivered. And that course was initially released in March of last year. It's still live at plutuspbl.io. And now we get to decide what the next iteration of the course is. Okay. Steve.
Yeah, when you say write a proposal, do you mean write a proposal for Catalyst or for Intersect? Because I think
Oh, excellent
know.
question. No. I mean a proposal for each other that looks like this.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
so yeah, this process of proposing what work we might do together is the next step that would follow driver writing, which we did in January over the course of 6 sessions, and circle formation, which was the end of that driver mapping process. A next step out of this is to do the homework, basically, right? If I say, I want to work on Gimbalabs.com, I really did it the wrong way today. I just threw a sticky note on Miro without any context that said Gimbalabs.com on it. It would be better if what I did was I brought a written proposal describing the background, right? What's going on with Gimbalabs.com right now? What could we hope to achieve by working on it together? And going into some of the details of working it on together. Because if I bring that instead of just a sticky that says the big concept, there's less mystery about what that means. And now people have something that they can give feedback on. They can decide if they want to be contributing to it. And if we do this well, there's all sorts of connections from this S3 work over to Catalyst style work or Catalyst alternatives or how we use the Andamio treasury in the first place. But this is a next step in a story that started with drivers and continues to now. And I'd like to model this by writing a proposal for how we're going to deliver PPBL 2024 together. And that's I just haven't had a chance to write that on the brand new education channel on Discord, but I'll send out that invite today. This is just some background knowledge for that. Now, here's the thing about PPBL 2024 that's different from 2023. Last year, we had that one course and we had to decide how much to pack into it. And so, for example, anybody who's familiar with the PBL 23 course, you might know that there are a couple of modules and a couple of lessons where we really dive deep into the Mesh SDK, for example. Now we're building a separate Mesh PBL course. So how much Mesh should we cover in Plutus PBL? And how much should we just link out to Mesh PBL at opportune times in the Plutus PBL course? And that's just an example of a pattern that I'm excited to explore. I don't know the answer, actually. I have no idea where this is going to land, but here's the problem statement, right? Supposing that there can be any number of unique courses like Mesh PBL or Dandelion PBL might get built, or the list could go on, and this is a governance decision itself, right? What is the list of other courses that we might want to build and in what order? If we recognize that there can be many courses moving forward, then what should the focus of Plutus PBL be? And that's the first question I want to get together in a focus space and figure out together. And once we decide that scope, what goes inside that course and what would be other exciting courses to build, then we can start rearranging the learning targets. We can take all the ones from last year that still fit. We'll use them again. There's no need to recreate things that already work. But we might recognize that some of those learning targets don't belong there anymore because we want them to be in a different course. And we might realize that there's some stuff that we really want to teach that hasn't been part of that yet. So at a high level view, that's my first question. What's the scope of PBL 2024? And how do we start to build that list of other courses we might build? And how are they all connected? What questions do people have about that as the starting point? Yeah, Alex, what do you think?
Yeah, it's like I just want to bring the perspective of we were discussing in the developer experience group, and at this point it looks like it would be nice to have an idea about onboarding paths that developers take when they start on Cardano to be able to build the most efficient, like to what what actually people are looking for. And we did some of this research last year in the group, and I have to look it up. So like, let's coordinate asynchronously on it, and let's think about the onboarding path and what do the developers need who actually come to Cardano, and how we can serve the best audience we can.
That's incredible. Yeah, that background knowledge will be great. And let's get that dialogue going on the education channel, because looking at that background evidence will be a great place to start. Other questions about just the high level way I framed what's next for PPBL 24?
I will jump in while others think of questions. I really am interested in feeding back and being a part of the PPBL redesign or just making it, because as a first year student and not really knowing much about Gimbalabs, just being a student, like I feel like I've got valuable information, and it feels like this kind of knows like what I'm expecting is somewhere on that Discord, the education Discord, that there will be a shared document with that proposal, and that I can somehow comment and say, okay, this is what it is, and give feedback and write. Yeah, so it seems clear to me.
Of that. I have on my list creating a pinned message for the education channel, or refining the one that's there. And wouldn't it be cool if that pinned message always had a list of current project proposals, right? These are the things we're thinking about doing in the education circle. And here's the status of those proposals in action. So anybody can pick those up anytime. I'd like to initialize that by the end of the day. That would be a really nice, even if it's a blank proposal, just having that placeholder that we can start dropping ideas into.
And that, I think, in using the S3 terminology and actually agile terminology is like a work log or a backlog. It's just like, this is visualizing our objectives and our current work.
Yeah.
I think that's how it's used. And I love that, because it's all, for me, it's all about orientation, because I'm in a situation where I pattern switch. So there's like a lot of different things, and I would love to just show up and I know it's like, oh, here's my Kanban,
Yeah.
and it's just very clear. Hinson, I want to express some appreciation, which I'll do in our closeout round. Anything more about this, about the Plutus PBL? I think we've got probably another few minutes to do this, and then we'll have 5 minutes for a checkout. We'll end right on time. At the top of the hour.
Thanks for this note in the chat. It's helpful.
Yeah, for me, I think it's all good for today. Like, there's already a different lines of thinkings that we could bring it back to ourselves before our next meeting, where we could maybe really get into some plannings or having the proposal written already before next time we meet. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it gives a reason to write those proposals, right? Like, we're using that pattern. It was interesting that Steve was like, oh, is this proposal for this fund or this fund? We're like, oh no, we're sort of accepting that as a pattern. It's like creating these proposals. It has to do with like project management and effectiveness, like making sure that our time is spent in the correct way, or an effective way, as opposed to doing. And then wouldn't that be cool if we just sort of accepted that pattern, and we knew that that's how things, like people like us do things like this, I think that would be cool. It'd be cool. And it's such an open and transparent thing. So just anybody rolls in, they see the proposal, it's transparent, it's right there. Hinson,
I apologize.
about
I apologize for assuming proposal means money. It's just old habit. I'm sorry.
You can, because James said this, he says like, well, we may not have the shared resource of money, like we don't have necessarily a shared money treasury, but we do have a shared time treasury. Like we have committed, we've bought and sold our time today, you know, 80 minutes right now. And so if we think of it in that way, but there's no need, I think, yeah. It's just a pattern that we're sort of adopting, and I think it's a good pattern. It can be a good pattern.
Thanks for the chance to introduce a little bit of PBL thinking, and I'm excited to follow up in Discord.
Nice. Let's I think Juan is telling us it's like, oh, it's time to move around, sort of get settled. Wow, what a journey, what an experience that we've had today. So much fun being in the live coding open space that we do 3 times a week, really. Playground on Tuesday, and this live coding, what we call live coding, here Wednesdays and Thursdays. If you stuck with us through the streaming channel, I know that there's somebody out there. Why not come to the website? Why not come to the Discord? Look at all these beautiful people that you can meet and discuss. Right now, you're just listening in. That's great. That's fun to listen in. I love to listen. It's cool. But there's a whole nother level of experience that you can and get yourself involved in, and we want you to. We're happy, good, friendly people. We do things, and we make mistakes, and we say sorry, and we don't even, it's just incredible. Come and join us. Hey, in the next 5 minutes, let's I'm gonna set a timer and let's just close out, and we can popcorn style around just a little closing. How about that?
Grateful for all of you and for this space. Thanks for making it happen, and see you soon.
Yeah. I really do want to express some appreciation for Hinson, and Harsha, and then actually who's not here is Wims or Bernard, who really jumped in and did some great stuff with the Discord. And in particular, the project management skills of Hinson, keeping us all sort of aligned. Actually, Alex was in that Discord. We had a really great Discord channel. He used Notion. There was a daily sort of like, okay, these are the things that we're doing. And then it was flexible but structured. He wasn't a dick about things. Like, it just seems like it's very professional. I know that he made sacrifices. It's right during a big holiday season in his country. And so we really want to express some gratitude and appreciation for your good work.
Welcome.
Yeah.
3 minutes left. Should we do a quick checkout round?
Ooh, one word. Let's see how many voices we can get on. Just one word checkouts. One word checkouts. Ready? I'm gonna pull up the. Let's start with James is checked out. Hinson, how about start with Nori and then go to Alex? One word checkouts.
Nori is muted.
Sorry, I was muted. Grateful for the space. Thanks everybody for participating.
Great time. Thanks.
Good. Chris, Harsha. Harsha, Jonathan.
I'm feeling pretty ready for what's going to come. So yeah.
Loved it. Was lurking today. There you go.
Nice. And Juan, Martin.
For me, is what focus PBLB.
Yes.
That's core.
Action. Let's go.
Love it. Mix, Nelson. One word checkout.
Tension. I'm sorry, and it was really good. And you know, I cannot keep just one word, so I'm sorry for that.
The professor.
But it
I was
was
like,
great.
is he
Thank
gonna?
you.
That's brilliant, man. Nelson.
Yeah, I'm really pumped and ready to start writing proposals and start building. Yeah. Thanks, everyone.
Nice. Yeah, I'll use a 10-cent word like fruition. Like I feel like that we put things in fruition is my one word. Seb.
Late.
Oh,
It was late, but thanks for being here. Really grateful for being here.
nice. Anyone else in the final minute?
Yeah, me left probably bullish.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Great job with this call. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, see you all around.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
See you
Bye.
next week.